Okay, let's dive right in. We're not here to talk about just another diet. Nope. Think of this as more of a quest, a journey to take back your health from this hidden enemy that's lurking, well, pretty much everywhere. We're talking about completely avoiding sugar. And this is a story with a hero. And that hero, it's you.
So, who's the bad guy in this story? It's sugar. But here's the thing, it's a master of disguise. See this number? 61. That's how many different names sugar uses to hide in our food. It makes it an enemy that is incredibly hard to spot. Pretty sneaky, right?
And the stakes here are incredibly high. Dr. Robert Lustig, who's a real pioneer in this field, puts it pretty bluntly. This isn't just about your weight. It's about the literal speed at which our bodies are aging. So let's start our journey by properly identifying this enemy. All right, so stage one is all about recognition. I mean, you can't defeat an enemy if you don't even know where it lurks. And believe me, sugar is hiding in plain sight. This is just how widespread this problem really is. I mean, look at this. Over 74% of packaged foods in the supermarket have added sugar. And we're not just talking about the obvious stuff, like cookies and soda. It's hiding in things you'd never suspect. Savory things like pasta sauces, salad dressings, even supposedly healthy foods. And here's the thing you've got to understand. This isn't about willpower. Some studies even suggest that sugar can be more addictive than cocaine. It kicks off this vicious cycle. You get a dopamine hit, then you crash. And that crash triggers these intense cravings for more. It's exactly why just cutting back a little is so difficult for so many of us. And that right there brings us to the turning point in our hero's journey. It's that moment you decide to stop being controlled by that cycle and to take real, decisive action. This is your call to adventure. So, if just cutting back is basically a losing battle against a substance this powerful, then what actually works? What's the best, most effective way to really break free? Well, the answer from a lot of experts is surprisingly direct. You go cold turkey. Just completely cutting out all added sugars is often the fastest way to break that addiction cycle, to reset your brain's entire reward system and totally recalibrate your body. So once you've made that decision, you come face to face with your first big challenge. Every hero's journey has a road of trials, and in this story, it has a name, the sugar flu. It's the very real experience of withdrawal. And your body will fight back. It's gotten used to that constant supply of sugar for energy, for that dopamine hit. So when you suddenly cut it off, you can experience a bunch of symptoms so common they've actually earned a name, the sugar flu. And no, you are not imagining it. This is a real physical response. But here's the good news. This struggle is temporary. This timeline shows you what to expect. The first few days, they're going to be intense. The sugar flu usually peaks around days 4 to 7, but then look what happens. You hit this recalibration phase. The cravings start to fade, your body adapts, and you can absolutely see the light at the end of the tunnel. These are the specific challenges you might be up against. We're talking throbbing headaches, feeling completely wiped out, intense cravings, being a little, cranky, but knowing what to expect makes it way less scary. These feelings aren't a sign that you're failing. They're actually signs that your body is healing. Okay, so to survive this, our hero needs some new skills. You have to learn to see the world a little differently. Specifically, how to read the food matrix and spot the enemy in all its sneaky disguises. Get ready because sugar's secret names, they come at you fast. You might see something like dextrose on a label, or its infamous cousin, high fructose corn syrup, or something that sounds like it was cooked up in a lab, like maltodextrin, and even something that sounds totally natural and healthy, like evaporated cane juice. Spoiler alert, it's all just sugar in a clever costume. So here's a handy tool to make this way easier. Just group the names into categories. If a word on an ingredient list ends in "ose," it's sugar. If it's called a syrup, it's sugar. And you really have to watch out for those so-called natural disguises like agave or fruit juice concentrate. It all counts as added sugar. Now this right here is probably the single most important skill you can learn. On our nutrition label, you'll see total sugars and added sugars. Total sugars include the naturally occurring ones from fruit or milk. Those are okay. The number you, our hero, are hunting for is added sugars. Your mission is to get that number as close to 0 as you possibly can. And what about social pressure? The food pushers? Well, here are your secret weapons. Have a few polite lines ready to go, like, that looks amazing, but I'm truly full. Or just redirect the conversation. Or my personal favorite, remember that no thanks is a full and complete sentence. You don't owe anyone an explanation for taking care of your health. And all of this brings us to the final, triumphant stage of the journey. After you face the enemy, survived the trials, and learned new skills, you finally claim the treasure. And I'm telling you, it is so, so worth it. I mean, just look at this transformation. You trade those exhausting energy spikes and crashes for stable, all-day energy. The brain fog you might not have even known you had lifts, and it's replaced by sharp focus. Skin starts to clear up, your mood stabilizes, and you dramatically lower your risk of chronic diseases. It's a total life upgrade. And this might be the most magical reward of all. Your sense of taste is reborn. After just a week or two without added sugar, your palate completely resets. Foods you thought were boring suddenly burst with flavor. An apple can taste as sweet as candy. You start to appreciate the incredible, natural sweetness of real whole foods. So, you've seen the path, you know the challenges, and you've seen the incredible reward waiting for you at the end. The only question left is the one every hero has to answer for themselves. Are you ready to begin?